Hey everybody, people think all the time that we have artificial grass, but this is real. And would you believe it that I've only fertilized this thing one time in the last year? And we don't overwater it? There's a couple of things I do to get a look like this, but I want to share one of them with you right now and break it down because a lot of homeowners don't know about dethatching. And most homeowners don't even have the equipment to do it, and some pros don't even do it or think about it or think it's a big deal. But what I have learned is dethatching is one of the most crucial things you can do for your lawn in the spring or in the fall to get a healthy ecosystem in your grass. So in this video, if you stick with me, I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why you should dethatch. That's the word, right? I'm going to teach you when you should dethatch because I made a mistake and I almost killed my yard one time by doing it in December. Bad idea. And I'm going to share with you a couple of tools that you could look into getting that will not break your back or your bank. And if you stick with me to the end, I'm going to show you some before and after results. There's a spot in my yard that I did not dethatch or scalp last year on purpose to see if this even made a difference. And this year, I've concluded that dethatching and scalping is crucial to your lawn success. So if you're interested, let's go. It's golden hour. Reason number 1 why you should dethatch, and this is probably the biggest one and most important one, is to manage disease. See, what happens is every time you cut your grass, even if you catch your clippings, not all of the clippings get sucked up or thrown into the catch bin. And so clippings start to make their way down on top of the soil. Now, a lot of people call this thatch, and I think eventually it becomes thatch. But from what I can understand, it was really lawn litter. If you were to pull into your grass and pull some of the blades apart, what you'll find is often, especially if you water and fertilize your yard regularly, you could accumulate upwards of half an inch of lawn litter, some people call it thatch, on top of the soil thatch level. And here's why that's a problem. It basically acts as a giant harbor for disease. And when you fertilize, when you water, when humidity hits a certain point, the disease triangle comes together, like Alan Hayne likes to say, and you get a disease breakout in your lawn. And so if you have to throw down azoxystrobin or propiconazole or, Bayer or Scott's Disease X a lot on your yard, it could be because you're over fertilizing. It also could be because you're over watering, or it could be those two things. Plus you have a lot of lawn litter or thatch built up underneath the grass that you can see. So that's really the number 1 reason why you should consider managing that, and using a dethatching rake or the Sunjoe or something like that will help you get on top of the disease in your yard. The second reason why you should consider dethatching is to increase water and fertilizer penetration. Now, that sponge layer of lawn litter, like I described in the previous reason, what it does is often acts like a sponge and prohibits water and fertilizer getting into your soil where it needs to do its work. Now, actually at one point, got a garden hose and I could watch water pool right off of my grass like it was a duck's back because there was so much lawn litter that was so tightly packed that water just couldn't get through it to the roots of the grass. And as a result, the grass started to check out or go into dormancy. So if you're having water penetration problems, or you're having fertilizer problems, or your grass seems to not greening up, or your grass seems to just die, check to see if you've got any lawn litter or thatch buildup that you need to remove. The pro to dethatching every spring and fall is you're always staying on top of that and you're maintaining a healthy lawn. A puppy just showed up. I do not know who this dog is. Anyone want a free puppy? I don't think he's subscribed, so we're going to have to move on. Oh, great. Hey. No. Oh, gosh. Okay.
The next day.
Tip number 3 is kind of funny, but it is to stand up your grass. If you've ever reel mowed, especially with a front roller, you know that the more you roll in a direction, you can actually push the grass down. And sometimes as you do that, the grass will lay down and it'll start growing up new strands, and then you'll get kind of a matted look over time, and that encourages disease. And so sometimes I will take out the dethatcher, not really to dethatch deeply, but just to kind of comb and stand the turf back up so that I can cut it and reset things. The fourth reason why you should think about dethatching is it helps remove debris, trash, lawn litter, sticks, acorns, pecans, bark. Most dethatchers will pull out the trash or the organic debris that may get down into your canopy. It's not the main reason why you should do it, but it is a benefit to dethatching. So when should you dethatch? The answer is you can dethatch anytime your lawn is actively growing. For me in South Texas, I like to dethatch once early spring after things have greened up like they are right now, and once early fall, maybe beginning of September. I made the mistake of dethatching around Christmas one time, and even though the grass here never really turns dormant because of the type that it is and the warm weather we always get, I dethatched when the root systems weren't actively growing and pushing out. There was like a section of maybe 10 square feet that took until the next summer to fully repair and recover itself because I had destroyed the root system. So don't dethatch when things are dormant. I also say if you have St. Augustine, none of this video applies to you. Do not listen to a word I'm saying if you have St. Augustine, because if you try to dethatch, you will ruin your grass, I think, because it runs based on stolons, I think, on top of the surface. And if you rip those up, you're basically killing your grass. So I should have mentioned that earlier in the video. If you have St. Augustine, don't watch this video. It's a good day to be a homeowner in the dethatching department because prior to a day like today, you had to go to the tool rental place and get what's called a power rake, which required a truck, the use of this heavy material, and there's some uses for those. But today, homeowners like you and I, we have access to tools that will help us dethatch our yard cheaper and without a whole lot of effort. This is called the Greenskeeper 2. It's actually my favorite rake, and I use it for some light dethatching or when I need to address some small issues. It's got elements that are similar to an electronic dethatcher like the Sunjo here, but this is worth having. I think I got on Amazon 20, 30, 40 bucks, and surprisingly, this has become my favorite rake. But if you've got a yard and you need to address lots of lawn litter and lots of thatch, this isn't going to do it, although it's a great tool to have. This is a proper thatch rake or a dethatching rake. This one's by Trooper. Comes with a 25-year warranty. I think I got it at Lowe's for maybe 30, 40 bucks. The first thing you'll notice about this is it has two sides to it. The first side has straight tines, and those are for removing the lawn litter, the dead debris that's on top of your soil. The other side has a curve in it, and this gives you a more aggressive pull. It's really meant to get into the soil, to cultivate, to pull out the thatch layer. It's more aggressive. I got one of these. I was super excited, and I started working on my yard, and I was blown away by how much lawn litter and thatch I was able to pull out in such a short amount of time with short effort. But after maybe 30 minutes of doing this, I realized that this was not going to be an effective solution for all 2,500 square feet that I have, which led me to buying the Sunjo. Here's the Sunjo, arguably the most popular dethatcher on YouTube, maybe with the Greenworks, but a lot of people love the Sunjo. I think it was $125 when I bought it. Today I looked it up, it's about $120 on Amazon. And I bought this thinking it was gonna be a throwaway tool because it's a little Fisher Price and Little Tikes-ish. I have been so blown away. I'm on my third growing season with it. It is held up. It's amazing. And it makes short work of dethatching your yard. And so if you've been on the fence about dethatching, if you've been on the fence about the Sunjo, I've been doing it for about 3 years. The results I'm getting are amazing. This is a little kind of weird to use because you've got to hold it the right way. You've got to have the right extension cord. You've got to worry about not cutting your cord when you're doing it. But it's a way better alternative than going to the tool rental yard and getting a power rake and doing it. All right, this area I have not dethatched. And if you look closely, you don't even need to look closely. This all dried out in the summer because water, when I would water, it just couldn't get in this area, and it's on a slight slope, and so this area dried out and that went into summer dormancy. You can see it's coming back, it'll be fine. Okay, that's the soil level right there. So that's how much grass and lawn litter before I hit the soil, which, you know, some people like, but I like to have a really short lawn, and this area gets lots of disease. You can see I've got some color, some like neon. It's not really showing up on this camera, but these grass blades are kind of a highlighter green color, and there's something going on there. And it's just in general the least healthy part. If you look over here, this is where I have dethatch. That's drying out, but I dethatch and scalp this area regularly. As you can see, I'm there. That's my soil level. So you see the comparison. Maybe I've got an inch right here where that one over there was maybe 3 inches. This is pretty crazy right here. This area gets real spongy. I'll see if you can see how spongy it is. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Yeah, this area, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like I'm standing on a sponge. Who wants a YouTube video of Crocs? So it's kind of fun to walk on, but what I've noticed, even I mowed today, I've been scalping, so my reel's dull, but my mower's been floating, because check this out. You were probably looking at this area going, it looks great, but look at this. All of this lawn litter hiding in there. That's what's causing it to be spongy. And look at how tall this grass is now. And if you can see down here, look at that dead grass. Look at this. Like, it's not getting sunlight, so it's gonna die, right? So what I'd like to do is use a dethatcher to stand all this up. Look at that. And then scalp it down to the dirt to start the new growing season. I know it seems crazy. It's actually the healthiest thing I can do for my yard. So that's a little comparison. And if you want a shocker, look at this. I just scalped this section and dethatched it. It's down to the dirt. Look at that. That is down to the dirt. 2 weeks, it'll be green, it'll be fine. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear if you've ever dethatched or if it's something you're considering doing. Until next time, peace.